Live from KSAT12, the news at noon starts right now.
Sleep is probably hard to come by for a group of people who live in an apartment complex in town.
San Antonio police are still searching for the person who woke them up this morning with a spray of gunfire. As Katrina Weber tells us, those gunshots created some especially close calls for folks in two different apartments.
Although it may have seemed like a middle-of-the-night dream, all this police presence at the West Pond Apartments was in response to a nightmare for some. People woke up to gunfire as someone with a rifle took aim at one apartment before 4 this morning.
Out of nowhere, it's just bang, bang. So I jumped off from my futon, recognizing the noise. Of course, it's a gunshot, so I kind of get down.
Dylan Rios was in his own apartment when he heard the attack on his neighbor's home. Police say a bullet also went into the apartment next to that, into a room where a 9-year-old boy was sleeping. But no one in either apartment was hurt. Officers, meanwhile, swarmed the complex looking for the shooter.
I saw them through the peephole that they were putting yellow tape all around through the perimeter, and cameras were going off, investigations were happening, and I was just hoping the best for everybody.
Investigators still aren't sure why that apartment in the 1900 block of Harrell was targeted. They say the woman who lives here told them a man approached her outside her door asking for her boyfriend. Soon after that, she says, someone started shooting. Although she and her dogs dodged the bullets, they did hit a water pipe, flooding her home. In addition to causing this water to spill, it seems the gunshots also caused a flood of fear. People all over this apartment complex woke up to that startling sound, and many of them called police. Officers never did find the shooter, described only as a man in a black hoodie. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Taking outside a trans guy, we're giving you a look at I-35 at Salado Creek, where an overhead bridge sign collapsed right on the highway. SAPD says that the truck hit an overhead sign, and that's what brought it down. As you can see, there's traffic movement on one side.
Yeah, that sign just fell onto the road. Now TxDOT crews are having to clean up the mess. All the lanes are open except for the entrance ramp to I-35 northbound, which is right past the AT&T Parkway. And there's one left lane that is closed on the frontage road. This a big problem. We're not really sure when all of this is going to open up, but obviously it created quite a mess earlier this morning.
Yeah, apparently you can see that front loader there. They got the front loader out there to move what you see right there in the middle of the highway. That sign has collapsed, and you can also see there is a vehicle that hit the sign after it collapsed. Fortunately, from what we understand right now, nobody was injured in that vehicle, but they got that front loader to move that thing out of the way.
Yeah, this is what it looked like earlier. This is a recorded TransGuide shot and some shots from earlier this morning. You can see what a mess it made on the road, and you can see how if you were trying to head into town on this was a rough commute today. But we will find out when it's going to clear up.
It was a rough commute all the way around. 410, still some slowdowns there. We had some issues on the roadways earlier at 9 a.m. So a busy day on the roads, despite the fact there is no weather out there. It has been just hot and sunny for the most part. Let me take you outside and I'll show you. Yeah, clear skies here in San Antonio. Temperatures right now, 91 at the airport, but it feels like 99. Humidity is just a smidge higher today, and that's contributing to some pretty high heat indices. 95 in New Braunfels, feels like 105 there. Seguin's 96, feels like 103. In the Hill Country, it's 90 in Kerrville, feels like 95. So we have some big-time heat again today. There's also that threat for wildfires. We have red flag warnings across the area, but I want to show you that we have red flag warnings in Hawaii, too. We're going to have more on this coming up, but Hawaii seeing wildfires that are causing extensive damage there. So it's not just in Texas, also our friends out in the Pacific. Pretty incredible. Forecast for today, 102 at 3 o'clock. We'll be up near 105 this afternoon, and then down to close to 100 at 8 p.m. Same song, second verse right here. We just continue with the more records potentially down the line too. We're going to talk more about the grass fire threat and how long these hot temperatures are going to hang around. That's coming up here in just a bit, guys.
Thank you so much, Justin. Crews, meantime, still working to contain a large brush fire just in the Austin area, not too far from here. That fire in Cedar Park burning about 50 acres so far. It is 60% contained, but boy, has it made a mess. The flames actually spread to an apartment complex, destroying one building and damaging 3 others. So far, no one has been seriously hurt here. Crews say there were some minor injuries, however. The Red Cross is helping those who are being impacted.
Well, the man who allegedly attacked his ex-wife and 2 young daughters, killing one of them, be facing the death penalty. That question is before the court today in the case of Stephen Clare, who had his first court appearance since being indicted. Clare is accused of shooting his ex-wife and stabbing his 2-year-old daughter. He also stabbed his 11-month-old daughter, Willow, who died. It happened in Alamo Heights this past April. Clare now facing a capital murder, attempted capital murder, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge. The hearing this morning was brief, but the judge wanted an update from the state on whether or not the death penalty was going to be used. The state said the district attorney's office committee who makes those decisions hadn't decided yet. The case was then reset for 60 days. If the state does pursue the death penalty, it would be the first since the Otis McCain case back in 2021. Bexar County deputies are also investigating 2 shootings on the county's northeast side that left at least 2 people injured. The shootings happened just before 9 o'clock last night in the 6700 block of Montgomery Drive. Deputies at the scene said a man in his 20s was shot, his condition unknown this morning. BCSO also said another man was believed to be shot in the hand with non-life-threatening injury.
An elderly San Antonio couple in a dispute with the city. It's over repeated code violations for not having parts of their west side property paved over with concrete. Well, a months-long probe by KSAT Investigates found that the code enforcement officers began to descend on the property back in 2021 after a letter listing potential violations was made to city officials. But the author of that letter was a disgraced development services executive who served time in federal prison for taking bribes.
The city would take something that a person of questionable character without them actually researching it on their own.
On the 6 o'clock news tonight, what led to that letter being written and just how much contact this ousted city leader has had with his former co-workers since he got out of prison.
Potentially more legal troubles on the way for former President Donald Trump. ABC's News is reporting that the Georgia district attorney leading the investigation into alleged efforts by Trump and his allies to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in Georgia likely to present the case to a grand jury next week. Meanwhile, as ABC's Faith Abube tells us that a federal judge in D.C. has set a hearing for this Friday to discuss a protective order in the special counsel's latest indictment.
Just days after former President Donald Trump returned to Washington, D.C. to face a federal criminal indictment in the special counsel's 2020 election interference probe, his attorneys will once again return to the D.C. federal courthouse this week, this time arguing for Judge Tanya Chutkan to limit a protective order being sought by special counsel Jack Smith in the same case. Smith's team hoping to keep Trump from sharing sensitive case evidence in public as the discovery process begins. Trump in New Hampshire Tuesday, lashing out on the campaign trail.
I will talk about it. I will. They're not taking away my First Amendment right.
The hearing is scheduled for Friday morning and doesn't require Trump's appearance, but it comes as his legal troubles continue to grow. Security stepped up at a courthouse in Fulton County, Georgia, as sources familiar with the matter tell ABC News that the local district attorney, Fani Willis, is likely to present her investigation into possible election interference in Georgia in the 2020 presidential race to a grand jury next week. For more than 2 years, Willis has been looking into an alleged pressure campaign in that state by Trump and his allies, including this recorded phone call where Trump is heard appearing to urge the state's top election officials to find him the exact number of votes needed to overturn Joe Biden's win in Georgia.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes.
This was even better than my perfect call with Ukraine. I challenged the election in Georgia, which I have every right to do.
And if criminal charges are brought against the former president in Fulton County, it would be the 4th criminal case against Trump. The former president claims these legal troubles are interfering with his presidential campaign, but he's already fundraising off a potential 4th indictment. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Still coming up, the Texans are just a day away from the first game evaluation of their top pick.
The Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center has some options for you if you want to pick up some unique skill. You want to do this? They have some offerings. Have you ever wanted to try your hand at mariachi guitar or maybe flamenco dancing? The Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center has classes coming up this fall. The Dance Academy returning with fall dance classes from August 15th to December 8th. They are dance classes for children, adults, and teens. And there are music classes including mariachi guitar, trumpet, violin, vocals, accordion, and piano. A dancer who's been with the dance company for about 12 years says that it has changed her life in many ways.
A sense of community and who I am and where I come from, and that's taken me through everything, and I incorporate that in everything I do.
On Friday, we have Espíritu Flamenco. It's a flamenco dance performance here in the beautiful Guadalupe Theater. What better way to enjoy flamenco dance, but also live music?
And this Friday, flamenco returns to the stage, as she said. That event starts at 8 o'clock. It is one of the last performances before the theater undergoes renovation.
Outside with live cam, let's see what's it look like. Oh, wow, that looks familiar. Although there are a couple of little puffy clouds out there.
I know. It would just be so nice if they developed into something fun.
Oh, that'd be great. I think there was like 5 there. That's good. That's a good number for us. The aquifer should say down, not no change. It's down half a foot to 626.8. That is a horrible number, not to be doom and gloom, but the aquifer is falling into territories we have not seen in a while, so we'll keep tabs on that. Meanwhile, molds are low at 240. What's going on with all these wildfires? We're going to check in there. Plus, we'll take a look at more records that may be dropping next couple days. Coming up.
The high schoolers are already playing football. Kids heading back to their extracurricular activities for the new school year.
It is back to school week on SA Live. Mike Osterhage is at Market Square with the question of the day. Where are you? There we go. I knew you were going to have some cheerleaders, pep squad, somebody in there with you.
Madison High School, all the Spirit Gang here.
Way to go.
Get out your phone because we're going to scan a QR code. Were you two in extracurricular activities?
Oh,
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, sports every afternoon.
Yes, indeed, sports, theater. So we've got your choices right there on the screen. So what you do is scan that QR code. Was it sports? I've got to move over here. Theater, cheer, dance, choir, band, orchestra, or was it another one? Y'all do anything else besides all the cheering? I know this takes up a lot of time. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, they do a lot. All right. We are going to answer that question. You can keep voting all show long. We are going to hear from these young ladies and also have a great back-to-school deal for you coming up.
All right, Mike. I'm just wondering, does high school rodeo count as sports?
Be an after-school event. Yeah, that'd be
It
a sport.
was. Okay. I did a sport. And band.
There you go.
All right, wasn't a cheerleader. Okay, if you want to vote for your favorite, just scan that QR code that was on your screen. There it is again. This is fun. What do you think is going to win?
Well, I don't know. Now
I
it's
think
band
sports.
orchestra, but I think sports will make it up. Justin, we know what you did at 6'4".
I'm pretty sure it was sports.
In your high school, and where was that? Midland?
That's right. Basketball.
Tallest guy at Midland High School.
I don't know that I was the tallest. Certainly probably one of the skinniest, but I don't know if the tallest.
But you could hoop, man.
Yes. Well, I tried. I tried. Still am trying. But yes, basketball. I'm curious to see where this ends up. Sports just took the lead, by the way.
Yeah, sports is back up.
Oh, it's back to, well, band, orchestra, and sports are tied. We'll find out coming up. But we got to talk about what's going on out in the tropics right now. Nothing in the Atlantic, which is surprising. We expected things to start picking up, but nothing yet. We got to go out to the Pacific, where we do have a hurricane. It's Hurricane Dora. This is an interesting one. Hasn't affected land, not directly. It stayed out over open waters. It's a strong one. Winds are at 130 miles per hour. But what it has done is created a tight pressure gradient over Hawaii. There's high pressure up here. We have a hurricane to the south, and you get a tight pressure gradient. You get really strong winds. And that has created a serious fire threat across the islands of Hawaii, which you don't typically see. This is sort of a rare situation, but red flag warnings have been issued, and you've likely seen some of the video and pictures coming out of Maui. Bad situation there. Many of the cities, or at least a couple of the cities, seeing the fire encroach on buildings and things like that, and it could get worse before it gets better. So that is the situation there in Hawaii. And of course, we're also dealing with fire threat here in Texas. We saw yesterday what happened around Austin. That fire took shape very quickly and then took down some apartment buildings there around Austin. And we've got more extreme fire risk today north of San Antonio. But again, even here, we have to be very, very careful because things are so very, very dry with the drought that we have ongoing. And there's a little closer look. I'd say a high to very high risk across our area later today. This was no surprise yesterday. Bexar County did institute a burn ban, and so did several other counties that they have, at least within the last month or so. So we're adding many counties to our list here where there are burn bans in effect. And as we go outside for you right now, just clear skies, 91, 94 at Stinson, 94 Kelly, 93 Randolph. We've got a southerly breeze. It's starting to pick up a little bit, but we'll see those winds really pick up during the evening hours and the overnight hours. And you'll see some gusts, maybe 20, 25. Dew points right now are making the difference. We've got dew points in the low 70s, so it's a little more humid than it was yesterday. That's why temperatures aren't quite as hot, but it's all a trade-off because it is sticky, and that means heat indices are well into the triple digits in several spots. 102 in Bulverde, 103 Helotes, 100 right now in Converse, 103 is what it feels like at Stinson. By the afternoon, humidity comes down a little bit, temperatures jump up. But I think in between that, we're going to see some pretty extensive heat index values, maybe around 106, 107, and then we peak at 105 with an air temperature later today. There's a look at the wind gust forecast, and yeah, I do think we'll see some gusts up over 30 tonight, so it gets quite breezy again during the evening and overnight hours. And if there are already grass fires, that can fan the flames. We look at the satellite picture, there's nothing here. We had some morning clouds, those have quickly gone away. And across the country, some good rain to our north. Places like Missouri and Illinois getting some rain at this hour. It's just not happening here. We continue to stay on the dry side of things, and it continues to be very hot, near record heat each and every day. 106 Thursday, 106 Friday, 105 Saturday, 104 on Sunday. Maybe a couple degrees cooler as we head into next week. Maybe a few more clouds, more than 5 than what we saw earlier on the live cam. That's the hope anyways, guys.
It's a little bit of hope out there in the sky on your forecast. Thank you.
We're going to take a look at one of the most storied high school football teams in the entire state right here in our area as our previews continue, and a couple of local college teams are picking up the pace as the season gets closer. We continue our big game coverage previews with Justin Rockets, one of the winningest programs in the entire state, led by head coach Mark Soto. The Rockets went 5-7 overall last season, 2-3 in district, while advancing to the area round of the playoffs. The Rockets have 13 starters coming back, 6 on offense, 7 on defense. Dave Campbell has them ranked 40th in the state in Class 6A, and he predicts that the Rockets are going to finish second in District 27 6A behind the Steel Knights, who we previewed yesterday at 6. Advancing to the second round is a step in the right direction, but the Rockets expect more this season.
Well, it was very important because the year before we didn't make it how we should have. So I feel like us getting as far as we did is going to change the aspect of this coming season.
I think it was very important. You know, you're built by your experiences, and having the experience of going 2 rounds in the playoffs was good for us. So we just want to stack success on success. So we're looking for more than 2 rounds.
All right, Justin, going to kick off the season Friday night, August 25th, 7:30. They will host Johnson at Rutledge Stadium. That's a pretty good way to kick off the season. All right, let's step up to local college programs just north of downtown. The University of the Incarnate Word Cardinals. Head coach Clint Killow is leading his first fall camp at UIW. He's got some talented quarterbacks on his roster, such as Luke Gombert, Richard Torres, and Zach Calzada. That is a guy with some big-time conference experience. He spent 4 seasons in the SEC with Texas A&M and Auburn, and now he's in the 210, and he says so far so good.
The process is going exactly how we knew it was going to go. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, but the biggest thing is we got to keep our focus and really just be intentional about how we're doing things. We come out to practice, we come in our meetings, we stay intentional, and throughout all the ups and the downs, it's coming together. The defense is doing a great job, and the offense is doing a great job. Our wide receivers are doing a great job getting open, fighting for the ball. Our O-line, run blocking, pass blocking, and our running backs are doing really well. So I'm proud of the guys and how we're moving forward.
Cardinals are going to start the season Saturday, September 2nd at UTEP, 8 o'clock evening kickoff. A little further north of I-35 to Texas State University, check in on the Bobcats. Eat 'em up Cats getting ready for their first season under head coach G.J. Keene. And for their 11th season in the Sun Belt Conference. They haven't had a winning campaign since 2014, and Keeney is here to change that. He was asked what position is the most challenging to evaluate at his stage of the camp.
Probably the quarterbacks, just because, you know, you're not live. You're not live. You know, when someone gets close to you, you blow the whistle. So probably the quarterback position, you can talk to them about your eyes and all that. And someone's tackling you, and you got to avoid the rush and all that. So the quarterback, I think, the position's always the hardest to evaluate. So, we'll continue to do the best job we can of putting these guys in tough situations and kind of seeing how they respond. But, yeah, I would say quarterback.
Bobcats going to open the season Saturday, September 2nd at Baylor. Kickoff set for 6 o'clock at McLean Stadium.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
College and now the pros. C.J. Stroud era will officially start when the Texans open the season tomorrow night on the road. He was drafted second overall this spring, and he's hoping to lead the Texans back into a playoff contender. Here's Coach Ryans on why he's starting the rookie tomorrow night in the preseason.
It's this preseason game here. It was my decision for him to go out first. He's been working with our first team for the past couple of days, continue to stay along that same track. As of right now, for this game coming up, this preseason game versus Patriots, CJ will go out first. Davis will play as well. That's the decision that we made.
Rookie edge rusher Will Anderson Jr. will also start. He was a third overall pick back in April. He's the early favorite to win the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. Kickoff is Thursday night at 6 o'clock in Foxborough.
They all played extracurricular sports.
Yeah, they did.
I can kind of tell. All right, new today at 5. Personal comments, even those 3 or 5-star ratings, they do help us decide whether or not to buy a particular service or product. But are we being deceived? We're going to take a look at fake online reviews today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight. The waterfront dock fight in Alabama over the weekend still sending ripples throughout the nation. It's a social media video that is now a viral piece of evidence that investigators are using to make some new arrests. DeMarco Morgan, who tells us who is in custody and who else they're now looking for.
This morning, police in Montgomery, Alabama, issuing several arrest warrants in that riverfront brawl, now gone viral after the incident was caught on several cameras from multiple angles. 48-year-old Richard Roberts, 23-year-old Alan Todd, and 25-year-old Zachary Shipman are all facing third-degree assault charges.
We're better than that, in that we're a fun city, and we don't want this type of activity to shed a dark eye on what this city is all about.
Eyewitnesses say the dispute began when a black boat captain tried to move a pontoon boat parked at a spot meant for the city's riverboat. A group of white people attacked and overwhelmed the city employee. That's when a number of bystanders, majority of them black, jumped in to defend him.
Working with the local FBI, we did examine if there was enough to file hate crimes charges on this case. We've also looked at what it takes to elevate this to a riot, inciting a riot, and it didn't fit the criteria for that.
Authorities also want to speak with this man, believed to be Reggie Gray, the man seen swinging a folding chair and making contact with 2 people involved in the fight. Investigators are also asking for the public's help with additional evidence. Police saying no one is off limits and more arrests could come.
I don't think we're near finished. We have a lot more work to do.
Ohio voters defeated a Republican-backed measure that would have made it more difficult to change the state's constitution. The win for the opposition means that only a simple majority is needed for passing future constitutional amendments rather than the 60% supermajority the Republican legislators proposed. Voter opposition to the proposal was widespread. Even traditionally Republican territories voted against the measure. Turnout surpassed the number of people who cast ballots in last year's governor, U.S., Senate, and House races.
Those orange buoys deployed by Texas in the Rio Grande, likely one of the main topics discussed when Mexico's top diplomat visits with our Secretary of State today. She is visiting Washington, D.C., meeting with Antony Blinken and other U.S. officials. They're also likely to discuss the surge of fentanyl and the trafficking of firearms across the border. Mexico recently asked that those buoys be removed from Texas waters, but Governor Greg Abbott says he will not.
The second Republican presidential primary debate will be hosted by Fox Business, Univision, and Rumble will partner with Fox Business for the debate. It's set for September 27th at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California. Fox will also air the first GOP primary debate. It'll be on Fox News on August 23rd in Milwaukee. The RNC is imposing stricter rules for presidential candidates to qualify for the second debate. CNN reporting candidates will need at least 3% in 2 national polls, or they need 3% in 1 national poll and 2 polls from separate early voting states. Candidates must also have the support of a minimum of 40,000 donors, with at least 200 of them in 20 or more states.
Some parts of the island of Maui and Hawaii's Big Island evacuating as they are getting hit with a double dose of severe weather. Justin Horn mentioned some of this. State officials blaming wildfires, but also the approach of Hurricane Dora. Some parts of the island experiencing those red flag warnings with gusts up to 80 miles an hour, and that has caused thousands of customers to lose power. Officials are hoping that when Hurricane Dora finally leaves the islands, crews are going to be able to get a better handle on these fires. The blazes have already scorched a number of structures. They've forced 12 people to jump into the ocean in order to escape the smoke and the flames. The Coast Guard had to rescue those evacuees, but they expect that this is going to be a continuing issue.
Outside with Live Cam, you see those fires and you know we are dry as a bone, and it kind of scares you a little bit to think that it doesn't take much to spark one, and then the next thing you know,
we all should take notes on this.
It makes you nervous, and you think about what happened in Austin too. I mean, that was in a populated area. As soon as I saw some of that on social media yesterday, I was worried for that area of Austin. Thankfully, they have gotten that fire under control, but it's an example of what can happen in these conditions. Switching gears a little bit, I want to welcome some kids back to school. This is Teddy and Lizzie, their first day of school at Idea Academy. And it looks like Teddy's going into the 7th grade, Lizzie 5th grade. I hope you guys had a great first day of school. And keep the pictures coming. We love seeing these. We love that back to school feeling. It kind of puts you in kind of thinking about cooler weather at least a little bit as the kiddos head back. I know the bus stops can be sweltering this time of year. As we look at the numbers across the country, still some cool stuff up to the north, 70s, 60s. Sounds great. It just will not, that kind of cooler air will not come down to Texas. And you look at Wichita Falls, that's incredible. 104 at this hour. They're forecast to be somewhere around 110 this afternoon. Amarillo is kind of the one quote-unquote cool spot, 80 there. They're not going to be as hot today, but most of the state will be right back where they were yesterday into the triple digits. It's another CPS Energy yellow day, so we've got to try to conserve some of that energy between 3 and 8 p.m. There's some examples of things you can do, like charge your electric vehicle at night after 10 p.m. And I know ERCOT's keeping close watch on the grid today and over the next several days as this heat wave is not letting up anytime soon, guys.
Thanks so much, Justin. You're just a few thousand steps from being a healthier you. What a new study says would be your magic number when it comes to steps.
And after significant declines in routine vaccinations during the COVID-19 pandemic, global health officials say immunization numbers are inching back up, but there are still a lot of kids who don't have the vaccines they need. Why doctors say those shots are important.